Hello, friends, and welcome to the $1 Million Message. This is Tiffany Stout from the Austin, Texas area with your Wednesday wisdom. And I hope everybody is off to an incredible start of September. Here we go. So much happening this month. We've got Mary Kay's anniversary coming up, and we have the end of our Star Quarter coming up. And so I hope that you have plans in place to celebrate both and to finish your star strong, and of course maybe run a promotion for yourself and your customers, your business, built around celebrating Mary Kay's 61st anniversary. Why not? So I hope that you are off and running to a great start to this month. And I wanted to talk to you about how sometimes our best laid plans maybe don't necessarily go exactly how we want them to. It's just a part of life. It's just nature that, we could have the best intentions, the best ideas, the best goals, and sometimes things just don't go our way. So I wanted to talk just a little bit about that today, because I think that we know that mentally. We know not everything's going to go right, not everything's going to be perfect, not all lights on the highway are going to be green lights when we get to them, right? So we are going to have obstacles. We're going to run into them. So I think that it's important we talk about them beforehand, acknowledge that they are going to come up, so that way we are better prepared to handle them when they do. So two obstacles that I wanted to talk about today are the two kind of big ones that I think that we face most often, and there's lots of them under these two umbrellas. But these two umbrellas I'm talking about, the first is objections, and the second is rejections. So, we know and we understand and acknowledge that we cannot control what happens to us, right? We know things are going to happen to us, but what we can control is how we react to things that happen to us. And so keeping those two things in mind, objections and rejections, those are going to happen, right? We know it. They are going to happen. Not everybody's going to say yes to us all the time. So we have to be prepared in a few different ways to handle those obstacles. So the first one is objections. Now, there are so many different objections we are going to get in Mary Kay. So they are going to range all the way from selling objections, booking objections, objections you get when you share the opportunity. And so sometimes objections are maybe just a little bit of a pushback, and it might not actually be an objection at all, but it might just be a little pushback that's saying, I need more information. But how we handle the objection is really important. So what advice I want to give to you is that when you receive objections from people, the first thing is to not get defensive. Because I think sometimes we're just like, well, how could you say no? Or how could you object to what I'm offering when it's so fabulous, right? Because we love it. We believe in it so much that it just kind of boggles our mind that somebody else maybe can't see that. So they give an objection. I'm too busy. I don't have time. I don't have the money. I need to check with my husband. I don't know who I would invite. There's millions of different objections people will come up with. Sometimes those are a hard and fast, true no. Sometimes it'd be so much easier if somebody were just to say, no thanks, I'm not interested. And when they do, a lot of times I acknowledge that. I'll say, you know what, thank you so much for being honest with me. I appreciate the honesty, because it saves her time, it saves you time. Okay? So it's not necessarily a bad thing when you receive that honesty and that objection or rejection. But sometimes you get objections that you can overcome without being defensive. This is a whole nother, probably another at least message that I can leave for you on overcoming objections and how to overcome many of them that we face. And if you don't have kind of like a worksheet on it, you might want to ask your director or your national for one, because I do have several that I could teach to you from. But I think the most important thing with objections is, number one, don't get defensive. And number two, maybe ask questions. Ask questions to the objection, because sometimes the objection might help you, or the question that you ask and her answer might give you more information that can help you overcome the objection. So sometimes those are just there to help you gather more information so that you can overcome the objection in a kind and polite way, not a defensive way, but a way that helps you hear her better, helps you understand where she's coming from better, so that you can best serve her and give her more information that could lead to a yes, perhaps. So sometimes the objection just means I need more information. So you asking questions might help you get her the information that she needs to turn that objection into an acceptance and a yes. Now, the other umbrella is rejection. Rejection is never easy. It's never pleasant. It's never fun for anyone. But it is going to happen to us pretty much every day. So learning to accept the rejection, accept the no, accept someone turning down what you're offering, and not making it personal is really important. So that's your first tip. Number one, do not make it personal. My kids offer me things all the time. Mommy, do you want to play video games with me? Mommy, do you want some of this candy? Mommy, do you want this? Do you want that? And I turn them down all the time. It doesn't mean I don't love them. It just means I'm not interested in what they're offering. And so when we think of it that way, that when somebody rejects you, it's not personal at all. It doesn't mean they don't like you, they don't love you, and it doesn't mean that what you're offering is bad. It just means it's not right for them. And sometimes it might just not be right now. So sometimes it's not a no forever. It's just a no right now. And I'll ask that question. I'll say, okay, great. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being honest with me. I appreciate that feedback so much. Now, can I ask you a question? Is it a no for now? Forever? And they'll tell me, it's probably a no forever, or, it's probably just a no for now, I'm just super busy, or, so that's okay to ask questions. And a rejection, really, I love to think of it as God's protection. And you never know why that rejection is there, but I believe it is there to save you from something that is not going to serve you. So when we change our perception of those rejections, it really can put things into a better place for us. So those are some things that we can learn from the objection and rejection and how to overcome them. So let me summarize a couple of things for you that we can look at both of them really as, especially rejection, just as feedback. It's just some feedback. It is information for you about that person and where they're at. And it can be seen as constructive feedback to help you maybe get better, maybe teach you how to ask better questions, how to deliver information better next time. And you want to ask yourself what you can learn from that experience. Instead of analyzing it and making it personal, just say, okay, what can I learn from this? The next thing that it can help, all of this rejection and objections can help you with managing your emotions. Now, this is something that is always, I think, going to be a work in progress. But it's so important that we do work on it, because managing our managing our emotions will help us stay emotionally neutral and stable. This business can definitely have some high highs and low lows, some ups and downs, but we know that God is greater than those. God is bigger than the ups and downs. And when we can learn to just manage the emotions, we just feel so much more at peace. The next thing that this can help us do, and to summarize a little bit, is it can help us just be prepared through the practice of receiving those obstacles, through going through the obstacles. It's going to help us be prepared for the next one we're going to face. So don't ever feel like a rejection or a setback or an obstacle is something that isn't going to serve you. It is. It is there to help you grow. So when we can just look at things differently, look at the rejection differently, and thank God for the protection and for the blessing that it's giving us an opportunity to grow, it really does help us look at those things in a new way, in a better way, and it helps us go from one objection, one rejection to another without skipping a beat. But we do have to know they are going to happen. Acknowledge that, accept that fact, and know it going into each time you offer. You offer your business card to someone, or you offer to give somebody a complimentary facial, you offer a booking, and they turn you down. You know what? It's going to happen. So that's okay. We just move forward. Remember that the next person that you offer it to, they have no idea you were just turned down 10 times in a row. So don't let your pain or your hurt from getting rejected carry over into the next one. Stay enthusiastic and excited about what you're offering to each person because they deserve your best. So I hope this message will bless you today as you embark on an incredible September, and I will talk to you all next week. Have a blessed day. God bless you all. Bye-bye.